She was asked to leave a flight for looking out of place. Hours later, she made them lose $600 million. She wasn't expecting a parade, just a peaceful seat by the window. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, where are you watching this from? I love seeing how far this message reaches. Nadine Hernandez had flown this route a dozen times before. San Francisco to Newark. Long, uneventful, a good stretch of air to read, think, and prepare. At 47, she had learned how to move quietly, never needing to announce herself. Blazer, dark jeans, no heels, no logo on her tablet, no loud phone calls. Just stillness, focus. Her boarding pass read 2A, first class, window. She preferred the left side of the plane, less glare when reading. She tucked her tablet under her arm, offered a soft hi to the passenger in 2B, and sat down. That was supposed to be it. The flight attendant, young and new by the looks of her, approached with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Excuse me," she said, her voice tight. "Can I see your boarding pass again?" Nadine blinked, confused, but handed it over. The woman stared at it longer than necessary, then asked, "Are you sure this is your seat?" "I'm in 2A, Nadine said, her voice even. "Just like it says." The attendant frowned, mumbled a quick okay, and walked off. Nothing else, no apology, no smile this time. Nadine felt the shift. That gut feeling you get when the mood around you tightens and the air gets too still. People glancing sideways without moving their heads, someone adjusting their seatbelt too loudly. But she stayed quiet, focused on her notes. The acquisition meeting was at 9 a.m. the next morning, less than 24 hours away. Months of negotiations were coming to a head. Avalon Dynamics wanted her company, they just didn't know it was hers. Not yet. But sometimes, the flight takes a detour long before takeoff. 10 minutes passed, then 15. The cabin filled slowly, mostly business travelers. A few familiar faces from the industry. No one spoke much, just rustling jackets and muffled yawns. Nadine stayed focused on her tablet, running through projections. Then, two men boarded the plane with purpose. Not airport staff. Security. Blue uniforms, radios clipped to their shoulders, and that particular kind of silence that comes before something embarrassing happens to someone else. The lead officer, taller, mid-40s, stepped forward and said her name like a question. "Ma'am, Nadine Hernandez." She looked up, puzzled. "Yes. Can you step off the aircraft with us for a moment?" The entire front cabin seemed to go still. "Why?" she asked, slowly placing her tablet into her tote. "Is something wrong?" The shorter officer looked toward the attendant, who now hovered by the galley. She was avoiding eye contact. He turned back to Nadine. "There's been a report about a seat issue. We need to verify some information." Nadine gave a short breath, half amused, half annoyed. "I showed my boarding pass. Twice. We understand, but we need you to come with us." She paused. "You need me to leave this seat that I paid for so you can verify something you already verified?" The taller officer didn't flinch. "Yes, ma'am." She stood, slowly. Every eye in the first class on her now. Her seatmate, the man in 2B, didn't say a word. Just looked away, out the window, like none of it concerned him. No one said anything. Not one person. No one asked a question. No one stood up. She followed the officers down the aisle, tote on her shoulder, heart thudding in a rhythm she hadn't felt in years. Not since her early days pitching in rooms where no one expected the black woman at the end of the table to be the one leading the call. Out in the jet bridge, the lead officer turned. "We've confirmed your boarding pass is valid," he said. "There was a mistake." Nadine narrowed her eyes. "A mistake." He nodded. "Seems the flight attendant thought, never mind. We apologize for the inconvenience." Just like that. No admission. No responsibility. No accountability. Just a mistake. They offered to reboard her, but she shook her head. "I'll take the next flight," she said, calm and sharp. "Send me the rebooking info." She didn't raise her voice. She didn't curse. She didn't cry. She just turned and walked back into the terminal. But the damage was already done, and nobody even knew who they were dealing with. She didn't grab a coffee. Didn't scroll on her phone. Didn't vent into the void of social media. Nadine sat by gate 14 in Terminal 3, back straight, legs crossed, typing steadily into a folder labeled contingency. A young gate agent approached hesitantly, holding out a fresh boarding pass. "Ms. Banner, we've rebooked you on the 6:40 p.m. flight. Still first class. Again, we're really sorry about the earlier situation." Nadine looked up. "Do you know what the situation actually was?" she asked, voice steady. The agent shifted. There was a seat mix-up, I think." Nadine held her gaze. "That's what they told you?" He hesitated. "That's all I was given, ma'am." She nodded. "Thanks." He left quickly. She tapped her tablet again, opened the private notes she'd made for tomorrow's boardroom presentation. Project of Elon. Pages of data, metrics, deal projections. Their executives thought they were buying just another startup to plug into their aerospace tech portfolio. What they didn't know, what no one knew yet, was that she was the founder, sole shareholder, and majority decision-maker of Banner Systems. The company they'd been chasing for 8 months. She had kept it private by design. Her strategy was always the same. Lead from the shadows until the ink dried, then let the world find out. But now, that deal was dead. Not because of the money. Not even because of the public humiliation. But because she'd seen enough. And Avalon Dynamics was about to feel the cost. She boarded the evening flight without incident. Same seat. 2A. Different crew. No apologies this time. Just stiff smiles and polite nods. When the wheels lifted off the tarmac, Nadine closed her eyes and exhaled deeply. The sky outside was pitch black. Not a star in sight. Didn't matter. She had her own direction. But when she landed, she wasn't heading to a boardroom. She was heading for the kill switch. The car service was already waiting when she landed at Newark Liberty. Midnight traffic was light. Nadine didn't say much. The driver asked if she needed the radio. She shook her head. He didn't ask again. By 1:15 a.m., she was back in her Tribeca apartment. Lights low. City humming somewhere in the background. She kicked off her shoes, poured herself a small glass of ginger tea, and opened her laptop at the kitchen island. One new email from Avalon's head of corporate development. Looking forward to locking things in tomorrow. Board is excited to meet you in person. She stared at it for a second. Then hit reply. Subject. Change of direction. Body. Effective immediately. Banner Systems will be withdrawing from all acquisition talks with Avalon Dynamics. We are no longer interested in any form of partnership or merger. No further communication is necessary. Best. SB. She clicked send. No explanation. No long statement. Let them figure it out. Let the confusion bloom. She didn't owe them clarity. They never offered her any. Nadine leaned back and closed her laptop. The tea had gone cold. Her phone buzzed. A text from her assistant. Just got a ping. Avalon's team is already checking in for the 9 a.m. meet. Should I cancel the room? Nadine typed back. Cancel everything. Then added. Also, don't respond to press. Let them spin for a bit. She got up and walked to the window. New Jersey lights blinked in the distance. From this height, the world looked small. Manageable. Understandable. And just like that, Avalon Dynamics lost a $600 million deal over a moment they couldn't even describe properly. They thought they were talking to just another vendor. Just another signature. Just another woman in seat 2A. But the next morning, they'd learn her name. The whole world would. The first call came in at 7:43 a.m. Mitchell Corbin, CFO of Avalon Dynamics, stared at his phone like it was broken. He read the email again. Then a third time. Withdrawal. Immediate. No reason. No follow-up. He called Nadine's team. No answer. He called again. Voicemail. By 8:20 a.m., the boardroom on the 47th floor of the Avalon Tower in Stanford was full. Coffee cups untouched. Laptops open. Tension crackling. Anyone that know what the hell happened? Someone muttered. No, nothing. She just ghosted. She didn't ghost, Mitchell said. She sent a termination note. And why would she do that the night before signing? Heads turned. No one had answers. Only questions. Legal tried calling. PR was looped in. Quiet panic followed. Then the first whisper hit Twitter. A blurry video clip. A woman in first class. Black. Wearing a navy blazer. Being escorted off a plane. The caption, she had the seat. They kicked her off anyway. Then another clip. Someone had filmed the security guys approaching her. You could barely hear what was said. But her body language said everything. Quiet. Annoyed. Composed. People started tagging airlines. Then someone identified the flight. Within 2 hours, her name started trending. Nadine Hernandez. And now the headlines were writing themselves. Black CEO removed from flight despite valid ticket. Nadine Hernandez terminates $600,000 deal after airline incident. Avalon Dynamics faces backlash after silent partner walks. The boardroom was now silent. One junior exec pulled up a Bloomberg profile. Banner Systems is fully private. She owns it all. They were about to buy out a black female CEO and didn't even know it. Someone else chimed in. She's been building this tech for 8 years. Quietly. Smart. No leaks. Mitchell rubbed his forehead. We didn't even know what she looked like. We never thought to check. Silence again. Then someone from marketing said it out loud. Do you think she backed out because of the plane thing? Mitchell didn't respond. But everyone already knew the answer. And outside those glass walls, the stock had already started to fall. Nadine didn't make a statement at first. She watched it unfold from her office, barefoot, sipping from a chipped mug that said, "Still I rise." Headlines stacked up like dominoes. Video clips on every feed. Comment sections flooded. Black business leaders, civil rights attorneys, and former colleagues all chimed in. Not one of them was surprised. But they were all paying attention now. By day 2, Avalon stock had dropped 7%. By day 3, airlines were issuing half apologies, reviewing protocols, scrambling to manage optics. On day 4, Nadine opened her email and typed a message addressed to no one in particular, just to whom it may concern. Then she shared it with the world. Statement from Nadine Hernandez. I was escorted off a plane because someone didn't think I belonged in the seat I paid for. Not because of a threat. Not because of policy. Because of perception. You saw a black woman in first class and decided that was suspicious. You didn't ask for my name. You didn't check your bias. You didn't speak. You just watched. I wasn't loud. I didn't resist. I didn't cry. I got off the plane. And hours later, I ended a $600 million deal. That wasn't revenge. That was clarity. This isn't about business. This is about dignity. And you don't get to buy mine. SB. The statement was shared across platforms. Within hours, it was quoted by Fortune, CNN, The Verge, and TechCrunch. People reposted it with their own stories. Times they were questioned, doubted, watched too closely. Especially in places they earned access to. Avalon Dynamics never recovered the deal. Investors started asking tougher questions. The board reshuffled by the end of the quarter. But none of that mattered to Nadine. She never said the airline's name. Never gave the security guards' faces any attention. She didn't have to. She reminded people of something they keep forgetting. You can't measure someone's value by what you expect them to look like. And just because someone doesn't make noise when you disrespect them, doesn't mean they won't make a decision that changes everything. So the next time you see someone in a space you didn't expect, maybe think twice before assuming they're lost. They might be the reason your company exists. Or doesn't. What does your silence cost? Speak up. Be better. Respect people. Especially when no one's watching.